Champions Holiday Hoops presented by K Jewelers, the championship game of the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic, Christmas Day in Honolulu. Waikiki Beach, Diamond Head the backdrop. And a champion will be crowned here. It's Oregon State and Nebraska in the championship game of the Stan Sheriff.
Problem, they have to play through him. He has not found his shot so far here on the island. Expect a big game in the championship game for a player that's had a great start to the season.
Oregon State in the orange, designated home team Nebraska in the whites, as the championship game of the 15th annual Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic is underway. And a turnover by the Beavers, the double team forcing it from Parsa Fala from Oregon State as the starting five for Nebraska. Fred Hoiberg presented by Outrigger Hotels and Resorts. And a steal, here come the Beavs in transition. Michael Ratai, the miss, gets the offensive rebound.
That's got to be a make. You want to win a championship, you got to be able to make those shots in transition. Create the turnover. As I mentioned, Ratai not playing his best over here so far. 10 of 31, shooting just 32% from the field.
Pull-up jumper, and that one rims.
Where the tournament was in the bubble, they went all the way to the Elite Eight.
And a three, Bryce Williams breaks the seal. And this
looks like he could drop 30.
Probably could. That's a long two, and the first points for the Beavers from the perimeter to Marco Minor for Oregon State.
He has had a really good tournament over here. We got dominated early, and we really had to gut check ourselves a little. Talk about Coach Hoiberg and his ability to score the basketball and how great his offenses have always been.
But the shot way off from Juwan Gary. Here comes Oregon State.
One of the biggest keys offensively for both teams is being opportunistic.
And taking advantage of the opportunity. An open three for Latoris Lilovicius to tie.
You're allowing both teams to play to their strength. So when you have turnovers, when you grab a rebound, can you run and score against an unset defense? Because once they get loaded, it's pretty hard.
Up and under, Bryce Williams.
Not for him, it's not. He threw a line a couple of times off of it.
Tough shot in the corner, fouled on a three. DeMarco Minor, a chance for four.
Getting steals, but averaging almost 14 points per contest in the first two games. That'll help. A chance for four. All the money that needs to go to research to try to combat this horrible disease and give free lodging to anybody that's going through the battle against cancer, so that it takes that financial burden off of them.
Juwan Gary drawing contact. And a couple of
problems to their defense.
Pops out for Juwan Gary at Alabama. And he goes 1 for 2. Won 6 straight. Beavers are 10-2. And some solid wins along the way as the rebound grab by DeMarco Minor for Oregon State. While Nebraska 9-2. And they've won 3 in a row. Michael Ratai off balance. Will get to the line. 2 shots for the triple header on New Year's Eve. It'll start at Provo, Arizona State, and BYU. Happy New Year. We'll be in Provo.
Now, that level player that offensively is getting much more comfortable as the season has progressed. Not Bryce Williams.
No, forming in a couple of years, they'll be one of the cornerstone teams of a rebuilt Pac-12.
I think that move was very smart for the West Coast Conference to grab, because it will strengthen the WCC this year. His versatility is unlike almost any player in college basketball this year. And ranked 10th in scoring and in the top 5 in rebounding. Just a great start to the season for the reigning ACC player of the week.
A three from Latoris Lilovicius in Oregon State.
Guys off the bench that made a difference.
Connor Essegian on the drive. And the rebound, Oregon State and Latoris Lilovicius. Transition three, Josiah Lake rattles home.
Roxy, that was what I was alluding to. Defense. The defense was dropping off. You had a wide open three. That's a great shot, because it might be the best shot you get against Nebraska in the entire shot clock.
Beavers 4 for 7 from outside the arc. And Raleigh Wooster the floater. Wayne Tinkle and Oregon State know that Raleigh Wooster's not a stranger.
Yeah.
Last 3 years at Utah playing for Craig Smith. It's Josiah Lake, the spin and the bucket.
Up underneath. Help side defense wasn't able to rotate over the same way that you've seen from Nebraska.
Connor Esigian, 3.
That is a huge and all. He only had 2 points, 21 minutes against Hawaii. Get 15 points versus Murray State. He can really fill it up.
Deep 3, Isaiah C. for the Beavers. 5 threes for Oregon State. Sam Hoiberg knocked down and will get to the foul line, but Oregon State.
She probably will come back.
Rolls into second.
Hopefully it's not.
Another 3 on the way. That's way off from Jaquavis Williford, the freshman. And here comes Nebraska and Bryce Williams. Muscles his way to the basket. Bryce Williams and 1.
And his efficiency and how he shoots the ball. And he's shooting 50% from the field, 45 from 3. He was.
Raleigh Wooster couldn't handle it, but Juwan Gary does. Gets it back to Wooster, finds a path to the basket. Braxton Mia rips it down in the kick out. Connor Esigian, 3.
Best time always to shoot at this end of the floor. Now, they didn't convert on it, but it's those small things that he does sometimes. It doesn't even show up in the box score. The rebound does. But how many times he erases issues because of his positioning.
And a foul will send Parsafala to the line for Oregon. On the men's side, Thursday, January 2nd is
Go back to that Oregon game that they both played and think they both should have had wins. Oregon and Dana Altman has had a great start to their year, but they were on the ropes against this Oregon State team, and then Portland was at the free throw line ready to ice the game. But he's just got to let it rip. It's like you're overthinking it when you start to struggle as a shooter and you start to overthink it. Never good things happen.
DeMarco Minor somehow got that one up and in, and he leads. Berke Buchungel tries the other corner, and another 3.
Since we've been here, Oregon State, you ran through all the field goal percentage of scoring D's in the top 10. Like, you look at the teams that have the most consistency in college basketball, they defend.
Nate Kings. He redshirted last year with a knee injury. Now the steal by Kings. And Kings, the finish.
Get back. They show when they get back.
Parsafala will get to the line. And it's...
But when he rebuilt this roster, I mean, those are 2 great coaches. Stu Morrill, by the way, I feel never... I didn't do so well with that.
And now Travis DeCure leading that.
I want Bryce Williams to shoot the ball here.
Montana program on that same tree.
Yeah, he's got to get to that middle third. He wanted the ball back there.
Here's Berke Buchungel. 5 to shoot. Berke backing down. And Berke the scoop.
What a first half for him. And getting back in his scoring ways. He started off the year strong offensively. They got banged up and the numbers dropped a little bit. But he's looking good today.
DeMarco Minor missing at the buzzer. And a 2-point lead for Nebraska over Oregon State, 34-32.
Side.
First foul on Braxton Mia. In a mismatch, if DeMarco Minor can capitalize on his quickness. Nate Kings, 3, and Oregon State has the lead.
Paint touch, paint it out. Wide open 3, able to knock it down.
And the turnover. Here's Nate Kings again for the Beavers. And a goaltend.
They changed up their defense.
Ohio Valley last year at SIU Edwardsville. Beavers by 3. They had a lead as large as 4 in the first half. And in the lane, Bryce Williams rolls it in. Did you have a good time down there?
I did.
Nate Kings, 3!
And he's having a good time here in Honolulu.
This year, he is 25 for 46. Juwan Gary, nice to the bucket.
Against the zone defense, if you can get into that trap, it's going to be a numbers situation.
Attack it on the baseline. Parsifala. The miss and the rebound. Braxton Mia, the 7-1 big man for Nebraska. Bryce Williams floats it up and in, and we're tied. Bryce Williams is double. The kick to Connor Esijan. And the long rebound, Raleigh Wooster for Nebraska. Wooster gets to the basket, and the Huskers reclaim the lead.
Zone. How about that drive?
Woo! And Braxton Mia in disbelief.
At where they were preseason predicted. And they said, our team. And the fact that his players were sitting there saying, with Nebraska.
Raleigh Wooster to the bucket.
Great read by
An in-season 8-team tournament. 1989, the Far West Classic in Portland, led by the Hall of Famer Gary Payton. DeMarco Minor, and Oregon State seesaws in front.
Good offense to the key. Diagonal out of the corner. His second made 3 of the game.
Connor Esijan trying to create space and gets to the line. It's on Nate Kings. Followed by Wake Forest, Syracuse. We're going to be indoors. It's like that old Jerry Tarkanian line about altitude. Wintercape Buchtengel lost his footing, and keep in mind he turned his ankle in their quarterfinal win against Murray State. And to steal, Michael Ratai weaves his way up the floor. Ratai, the lay-in, and his first field goal of the game in Oregon State. Sam Hoiberg, 3! And I love every second of it.
This is phenomenal.
Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Michael Ratai in the lane, and it spins around and goes into Beeves.
Great move, but how come nobody has ever told me about these things before?
You've never had one.
I've never had one.
Andrew Morgan, and one as Morgan got knocked down.
Really good execution.
Andrew Morgan, and he gets the and one free. Isaiah C to the bucket, and we're tied.
Back-to-back possessions. Good job by C, turning down the three-point shot to get to the layup.
Connor Esijan, and the offensive rebound. Berke Buchtengel.
Here that love the game of basketball are playing at the right.
10 lead changes. And the 3 short from Lataris Lelavicius. Juwan Gary turns the corner, and the foul will get Gary to the line. The second,
like,
it's your favorite part of the broadcast.
No, they're like,
More for Juwan Gary. Malasada. Pass deflected. The hands of Gary right to Bryce Williams. Berke Buchtengel runs the floor.
Great job taking off.
Thieves need an answer here after a timeout. Nate Kings on the drive, and we'll get to the free throw line.
I tell you what, that is an answer right there. You said they needed an answer. That is a little.
24% of the line for Kings. As the second foul.
Worth noting again, Oregon State was down double figures to Oakland in the second half of that game.
5 to shoot. Step back 3. And Isaiah C. with the miss and the rebound, Nebraska.
C made a big three-pointer late in that game against Oakland. Very confident shooter from the outside. Had a good look there.
And the drop off to Jawan Gary.
Disruptive defensively. He gets whistled for the foul there, but.
And it rolls in. 3 years for the Utes. And taking advantage of the extra year and going to Nebraska, and he hits both free throws. And a foul, and that's the 7th. And now free throws for the Beavers. One more on his way out to Corvallis, and he knocks down both.
He's found better confidence this year in shooting too, especially from 3. Much improved from deep from where he was. He's in the back line of this zone right now.
And the 1-3-1 that Wayne Tinkle will throw at people. And it forces a turnover. Minor drives. And he crashes the key in his foul.
I already gave them a donut. They're fine. It's his first free throw of the game because I said that they were perfect from the line. You're nuts. It's like baseball announcers go, oh, you don't talk about a perfect game. What, did the pitcher hear you?
Foul and Bryce Williams free throws. Oh, if they're up in the clubhouse.
The one thing that's impressed me a lot for Nebraska had a lot of looks. And sometimes when you play at a little bit of slower pace, it tends to speed you up upon the game. Oregon State doesn't let you do that a lot at the defensive end.
Nate King's a step back. Tough shot by Kings. Jawan Gary tries to power his way in and will get free throws out of it. This against Hawaii.
You the next 420, especially given the foul issues and being in the bonus and double bonus on the.
How long do you keep him out?
If you can get ideally, well, it depends on how long we get to the under 4. Like if you're at the 3-minute mark, you got to bring him back.
Arsafala down low. Timeout, Oregon State. And a 4-point defensively.
Yeah, you're not going to sub him in on a defensive possession. I think you want to give him at least a second to get back out there at the offensive end. I would not be surprised if they get a stop here, though, that he goes to the scorer's table.
Bryce Williams. And one. Strong drive to the basket by Isaiah C. of Oregon State. And now it's Nebraska by 7.
Gel playing essentially the 5-man right now.
Isaiah C. 3!
I mentioned it a couple possessions.
And the length with Lilavicius at the top of it causing problems. Bryce Williams answers.
Automatic from there. Good
21.
execution. Good execution. Great awareness.
And efficiency, he's 8 for 11 from the floor. Corner 3. And the rebound, Berke Buick-Tungel for Nebraska's Latoris Lilavicius comes up empty.
I'd start Bryce Williams with the ball again and say, okay, go ahead and work him right back essentially that same position if you can.
Raleigh Wooster. Berke Buick-Tungel way out there, banks it in!
And that might do it. That might be the shot that ices this thing.
Career high 16 for Berke. And the largest lead for Nebraska. Nate Kings. And one.
Good answer at the
line, Nate Kings, and a 6-point Nebraska lead. Kings leads Oregon State with 19. DeMarco Minor back in for Wayne Tinkle.
When they trap, they have to scramble out of it quickly. Good job that time. Look where Williams is going, right? That elbow free throw line area. He'd like to get his hands on the ball there.
Berke down low. Buctagel has it stripped, got it back, kick out. And just beating the shot clock. The miss, but the back tap, and Nebraska has it again. Bryce Williams.
He's good. He's going to be the MVP of the tournament. Been 32 the other night. And the efficiency in which he's played with and what he's meant.
Isaiah C. from deep. And Bryce Williams pulls it down. And a foul with 37.5 seconds. And Nebraska has taken control here down the stretch. And they lead it by 8, and the Cornhuskers trying to win that. Williams at the line.
For Nebraska, offensively, starts with a guy at the free throw line.
In a lot of ways, last year was a historic season for Nebraska, and they're trying to follow up a great year when they went back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. Is DeMarco Minor the miss, and the rebound Raleigh Wooster. And Wooster plays it ahead for Sam Hoiberg. When you think about what Nebraska accomplished last year, tied for 3rd in the Big Ten, the most wins for a Nebraska team since 1990-91. And now with 9.7 to go, a foul will put the Cornhuskers at the line.
Why? 3 games here on the islands for Nebraska.
Team is going to win. Last year they met in South Dakota. And Nebraska win, and they meet in Honolulu here. And the Cornhuskers will take home the championship of the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. Josiah Lake missing a 3. DeMarco Minor has it stripped. That'll do it. And the championship in Honolulu on Christmas night, the 15th annual Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic, belongs to the Nebraska Cornhuskers, 78-66 over Oregon State.
And they close.